What's up, everybody? My name is Steph, aka Simic, Twisted Up TG. I'm doing a little deck tech video of the deck I'm going to be playing in Buffalo at the Bufftown Bullies event for the Survival of the Fittest. And I will also be playing this deck on Sleeves and Dweebs. The deck is Hakbal, Surging Soul. Been trying to make this CDH viable for a little over a year. To start, I got 2 Planeswalkers, Narset, Part of Veils, and Oko. The deck is kind of staxy, kind of to slow down my opponents while I get good advantage and be able to go over top of them. So Oko, pretty much I +1 them, turn target artifact or creature into a elk, so kind of shut off their commanders or whatever their engine is to get them going. And then I'm playing Narset because everybody's on the Ristic Steady Mr. Gamora gig of drawing tons of cards, and I want to kind of stop that from happening unless I'm the one drawing cards. I have 3 sorceries. All 3 are tutors: Finale of Devastation, Green Sun Zenith, and Nature's Rhythm. Green Sun's obviously you tutor, shuffle it back in, get to use it again at a later date. Nature's Rhythm, you get to search for a creature. It's 2 green and an X, and search for a creature. But then you can also harmonize for 4 green and X to get a creature. And Finale is, search your deck or your graveyard for a creature, put it onto the field. If you pay 10 or more mana into X, they get +X and haste. I'm gonna move on to the creatures. Got Thrasios Triton Hero to kind of get ahead, be able to put some lands on the field if possible, and draw. I got Birds of Paradise for some ramp, Bloom Tender for some ramp, Enduring Vitality for ramp, and Delighted Halfling. Then we got Lol Mage Mentor. Whenever a spell or ability you control, or whenever a spell or ability you control counters a spell, you may put a +1, or not +1, a 1/1 blue merfolk creature token onto the battlefield. And then you can tap 7 untapped merfolk you control, counter target spell. Not instant sorcery, literally counter any spell. It combos with things like Intruder Alarm and Deep Root, but also it goes well with Vodalian Hex Catcher. So you counter a spell, you get a 1/1, and then you can sack that 1/1 to counter a spell. Thieving Skydiver, it's 1 in a blue, has flying, but if you kick it, you can kick it for X, but X can't be 0. And then when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, you can gain control of target artifact with converted mana cost X or less. If that artifact is an equipment, attach it to Thieving Skydiver. So that's for like Steel and Soul Rings, the 1 rings. So yeah, you steal, like, you kind of want to go for the 1 ring, stuff like that. Then we got 2 Lords. We got Lord of Atlantis, Master of the Pearl Trident, both 2 blue mana, and both the same thing. All merfolks in play gain Island Walk and +1/+1. Mockingbird to pretty much copy things that'll help you get advantage. Same thing with Phyrexian Metamorph. You want to copy things that are gonna, I probably, if I have it out, probably copy Roaming Throne with both for the Hakbal triggers. Because if you don't know what Hakbal does, it explores, like move to combat, Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-creature, put a +1/+1 on Hakbal. But every merfolk on the field explores. If you don't want to keep it on top, you can put it in the graveyard. If it's a land, it goes to your hand. So yeah, if you copy with Roaming Throne, copy the ability, and then you copy the Roaming Throne with Phyrexian Metamorph and Mockingbird, you're getting like 4 times the triggers. Voidland Hexcatcher, like I said, with the Low Mage, you counter something with the Low Mage, you get a 1/1, and then you can try to counter again by sacking that 1/1. Tishana's Tidebinder. This card is pretty good. Say you're playing CDH decks like Cedh or Kinnan, you flash this out in response to them activating, and it shuts them off until that leaves the field. It's kind of staxy. The deck is very like control and swing. Subtlety. So you can just pitch a blue card, and when somebody casts a creature, Thassa's Oracle or something big, you can evoke this by discarding a blue card and put that on top or bottom of their library, whichever they choose. Enduring Curiosity, card draw in this deck is where we're at. We're trying to accumulate as much resources and swinging while controlling our opponents and saying you can't do this, or taxing them in some sort of way. So Enduring Curiosity is whenever a creature I control deals combat damage to a player, I may draw a card, and then if it dies, just like Enduring Vitality, comes back to the battlefield and comes in as a enchantment. Kumena, another card draw thing. Tap 3 Merfolk, draw a card. You can tap another untapped Merfolk, and Kumena gets unblockable pretty much. And then you can tap 5, put a +1/+1 counter on each Merfolk you control. So it helps increase the size of them. Danny Pink, my MVP for the deck, honestly. It's got Mentor. Creatures you control have whenever 1 or more counters are put on this creature for the first time each turn, draw a card. So every time Hakbal or one of your Merfolk explore and they reveal a non-land card, you get to draw that card. Roaming Throne, as I said, to copy the Hakbal trigger, to get multiple explore triggers and circulate through your deck more. Another stacks piece I'm running is Manglehorn. Enters, destroy 1 artifact. So that is something that might be preventing you from doing what you need to do in your game plan, or something that's, just holding you back. You just pop it, and then it also slows your opponents down by saying, okay, well, your mana rocks and everything, your 1 ring, it all comes in tapped, so you don't get anything off of it the first turn you play it. Walking Ballista. So this is it's not really for me to cast, it's for me to get in the graveyard, and then because Hakbal gives these explore triggers, these +1/+1s, I want to exile it with Agatha's Soul Cauldron and be able to like swing, and then after I'm swinging, once I get my opponents low enough, I can just start neg1 and neg1, taking away the +1/+1 counters and just pinging my opponents to do extra damage. I got Muro Reejery. It's a Lord. It gives them all other Merfolk creatures +1/+1. But another thing it does is whenever you play a Merfolk spell, you may tap or untap target permanent. So when you have your 1 ring out, you play a Merfolk, you tap to draw the card with the 1 ring, you play your Merfolk, untap it, tap your 1 ring again to draw more, or to untap your Gaia's Cradle or another mana source. Dada Adele, Island Walk, swing at your opponent, steal their one rings, steal their soul rings, steal their Mox Diamonds, Mox Hammers, Chrome Moxes, just steal all their artifacts. Pretty good card. Most of the time they want to try to counter that when it hits. Nickenzel, Current Conductor. It's pretty good, especially having it out with a Hakbal. Whenever a Merfolk explores, it gets a +1/+1. It gives itself 2 if you explore a non-land. But the good thing is, if you explore a land with Hakbal or another Merfolk, you get to put that on the battlefield tapped instead of just putting it into your hand. So you're kind of ramping at the same time as you're building your creatures. So it's pretty good. And the last creature is Kiara's Follower. And it's just a untapped target, another target permanent, which is like your One Ring or your Guy's Cradle or something that's gonna help. Alright, so now I got instants, because why not, you know? So I got Crop Rotation to get Guy's Cradle, or in certain situations where, like, you're playing against a Boral Breeze Caller deck or something comes down crazy, you just Crop Rot for Talon Gates to kind of help, but most of the time you're going to try to ramp for the Guy's Cradle. If you already got Guy's Cradle, you kind of just hold it for the Talon Gates. Flare of Denial, sack a blue creature, counter a spell. It's a free counter spell pretty much. Commandeer, same thing. Exile 2 blue cards from your hand. With all the drawing you're doing, you should be able to do that. And you can commandeer any non-creature spell. And you get to choose new targets for it. Flusterstorm, Storm Mechanic, cast a lot of spells. And it pretty much guarantees you a counter. Fierce Guardianship, control your commander, free counter spell. Pact Negation, free counter spell. Force Negation, free counter spell off turn. On your turn, you have to pay the 3. An offer you can refuse. Giving other people a treasure or 2 treasures could be bad, but you know, sometimes it says, okay, I'm not going to lose the game this turn. Force of Vigor to blow up those mana rocks and stuff, like if you're playing against Kinning or if somebody's playing stack pieces that stack you out, you can blow them up. Cyclonic Rift, build your board really big. Cyclonic Rift, Overload, swing out for game. Misdirection, another free spell. Exile blue card and change the target spell. Mindbreak Track, free. Opponent casts 3 spells. It has to be the same opponent. Cast 3 spells. Mindbreak. You can exile whatever you want on the stack. Swan Song, 1 mana, counter target enchantment, instant or sorcery. Create a blue player's spell is countered, gets a 2/2 bird, blue bird. Mental Misstep, also another free spell. It's a lot of free spells in this deck. Very controlling. Mana Drain, French Mana Drain, because that's all they had. 2 blue, counter spell. In your main phase of your next turn, you get mana equal to the spell you countered. It's all colorless, but it counts. Quarter Column, instant speed, tutor. Get you your pieces that you need. Force Will, another free counter spell. And Chain of Vapor. Chain of Vapor could be bad because if they copy it, they can start bouncing your stuff. So it's kind of a use as a needed type deal. Artifacts, fun time. So it's ramp and other stuff. So you got Mox Amber, Grim Monolith, Mox Diamond, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Curiosity, Arcane Signet, Chromox, Soul Ring, Felwar Stone, Lotus Petal. That is all of the mana rocks kind of ramp for it, which is kind of basic in CDH. Some of the other ones I run is Agatha's, like I said, with the Walking Ballista, to exile the Walking Ballista and be able to use my 1/1 counters to ping. Sensei's Top, card manipulation and card draw. One Ring, card draw, and you got things like Kiara's Follower and Muro Reidry to untap it and be able to draw more. Dampening Spear. This is where the stacks cards kind of come in for like artifacts. Dampening Sphere, which shuts off like Gaia's Cradle and stuff like that for those Aurora Breeze color lines and those people playing Thrasios TNT or stuff that need the Gaia's Cradle to kind of go really crazy. So it turns that Gaia's Cradle into being able to tap for one colorless. But then the second ability is each spell a player casts costs one more to cast for each other spell that player has cast this turn. So your first spell, 1 mana. Your next spell, if it was originally 1 mana, it's going to cost 2. And your third spell, if it costs 1 mana, it costs 3. And it just adds 1 mana every single time. Grafdigger's Cage, Cedh, Kinnan, all those people that want to tutor, can't tutor. Torpor Orb shuts off things. Also Grafdigger's Cage shuts off like the Underworld Reach lines, so that shuts that off. Torpor Orb shuts off ETBs like Thassa's Oracle, and then Curse Totem activated abilities. So Thrasios no, Kinnan no, Cedh no, you guys don't get your abilities. Yeah. Then I got enchantments. Got a few enchantments. Carpet of Flowers. At the beginning of each of your main phases, if you haven't added mana with this ability this turn, you may add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of islands target opponent controls. So it's kind of ramp. Amphibian Downpour, Flash, Storm, shut off a bunch of things, turn them into 1/1 frogs that can't do absolutely anything. Counterbalance, be able to, counter by flipping a card off the top of your library is pretty good and not have to pay any mana for it. Rhystic Study, as I said, I play Narset, stop everybody else from drawing multiple cards. However, I want to be able to draw as many as I can. Same thing, Mystic Remora. I want to be able to draw. I want to be able to keep that around as long as possible. Sylvan Library, also more draw. Look at the top 3 cards. If you like all 3, put them in your hand. If not, manipulate them and take whatever card you want. The next 2 are Deep-Root Pilgrimage, Intruder Alarm, Infinite Combo. It can do multiple things. You can make infinite 1/1s by, like, with Kiara's Follower, tap to untap your 1 ring. And you can essentially draw your whole deck with Enduring Vitality out. Make infinite mana, which you can put into Ballista, Thrasios, infinite size Finale. There's so many things you can do with these infinite combos. With Kumena, you can infinitely draw your deck. You don't infinitely draw. You can draw your deck. In which I thought about putting Thassa's Oracle in here for that, because there's so many outlets that you can draw your deck or draw until you have like a couple cards in there. You can probably even go to like 5 cards in library in Thassa's Oracle because your devotion to blue is so high. The combo potential is pretty good there. As for lands, I'm playing kind of a basic land thing here. It's pretty simple. Rejuvenating Springs, taps a blue or a green, comes in untapped if you have 2 or more opponents, 3 tree city, ancient tomb, Nykthos, being able to ramp that in 3 tree city, ramping. Since we're drawing a lot, we need things like reliquary tower, city brass, polluted delta, misty rainforest, kind of the whole fetch thing there. Mana confluence, cavernous souls, named merfolk obviously. Urza's saga, get you, if you have Agatha's out and a bunch of 1/1s, you can get the ballista in the graveyard quicker. You can get Soul Ring, you can get Grafdigger's Cage, Command Tower, Cavernous Souls, obviously pre-game actions if you're not going first, Verdant Catacombs, Anomalies, you want to tap that 1 ring in that guy's cradle, Golden Tarn, Tropical Island, Breeding Pool, Hedge Maze for the Surveil trigger, you get the Initial card, Gaia's Cradle, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Flooded Strand, 1 basic island, Talon Gates, like I said before, like sometimes you want to crop rot into that to prevent that Abora Breeze Caller line from happening, or phasing out like somebody's commander or something, like a Thrasios or something, and then get the channel lands out of Wara and Boseiju, bounce something, destroy a land, artifact, enchantment. Player gets to look for a basic land and put it on the battlefield. Like I said, the deck is a lot of control, a lot of stacks. Make big merfolk, go wide with the merfolk, and just dominate the game. The main game plan of the deck is beat your opponents down. Backup plan is to be able to make infinite mana or infinite 1/1s and just demolish the game. Like, you're swinging, you're drawing a ton of cards, and being able to lock your opponents down so they cannot do anything at all. This is my Hakbal deck tech, and like I said, Twisted MTG, upstate New York. We play CDH. We got some game mats coming out, making some tokens, t-shirts and stuff like that. And like I said, 2 of us will be grinding at the Bufftown Bullies event Saturday for that Survival of the Fittest. And then the 31st I'll be on Sleeves and Dweebs podcast playing this deck. I was playing Kinnan for a while. I'm switching up for a little bit, try something new. I'm getting my simic grind on. But after this, I'm not sure what I'm going to build. I might try Kumena next, or I might just try out Rogthras. I did start playing it a little bit. Pretty good deck. But I want to start playing like off meta simic decks and just going in and hitting people and being like, having me like, oh, don't know what the heck happened there, like just mollywopped the casual deck pretty much. Not really casual, but as close to C as it can get. But this is my Hakbal deck list. If you wanna be able to see it, you can message me. I can give you the link to the Mox Field, and you guys can check it out, try it out, see if you enjoy it. It's a fun deck. Test plays, I've beaten decks like Sese, Traxa, Derevi. I beat Blue Farm with it at Mulligan Games like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, if you play it right, you lock people out of the game and you can kind of just win. But that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoy this. Hopefully you guys get interested in checking out the deck list. If you are, just message me and I'll send you the deck list.